Good Tuesday afternoon. How's everybody doing today? You know how I've always said that I'm not going to get on here and post anything political or anything like that unless it weighs heavy on me and I feel like I need to say something. Well, today's one of those days, folks. They went after Jason Aldean because of his song "Try That in a Small Town," saying it was racist and promoting violence and whatnot. Well, no, there's nothing about that song that's even remotely racist. There's nothing about that song that even remotely promotes any sort of violence. The only people that think that song is promoting violence and racism are the racists. And now, I read a little Newsbreak article there a while ago, right before I left the shop. They're coming after Oliver Anthony over his song "Rich Men North of Richmond," saying it's bias, saying it promotes racism, promotes this and promotes that. Well, I got news for you folks. The only people that are offended by either one of those songs are the ones that need to be offended by those songs. The racists, the race baiters, the trolls, the left-wing liberal pansy snowflakes. Okay? Nothing about neither one of those songs is specifically targeting any individual, any group, or anything like that. It's just everybody gets butt hurt. And I'm going to be honest with you, those two songs right now say more. There's more truth to those two songs. They say more about the state of this country than anything you're going to read in any newspaper, any magazine, see on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever the frig that's called now. More truth to those two songs than anything you'll ever see on mainstream media. And what burns me up, what just absolutely chaps my cheeks, is y'all talk about Jason Aldean, his song promoting violence, promoting racism. Has anybody out there ever listened to a damn rap song? I mean, seriously. Anybody out there that thinks Jason Aldean's song, "Try That in a Small Town," has never evidently listened to any rap music in your life? Because I'm going to tell you something. I've never listened to a rap song, what little bit I've listened to, because that crap is garbage. Plain, simple, straight up, it's garbage. But you all don't say nothing about that. We hear crickets. I've never heard a rap song that didn't say something about drugs, sex, raping a woman, shooting and killing somebody. Namely, more than likely talking about shooting and killing a cop. But you left-wingers, we hear crickets about that. Oh, that music's fine. That's just their gender. That's just, they're just representing how they talk about how they feel, representing themselves, growing up in the hood. Yeah, it's trash. Straight up rap music is trash. Jason Aldean released that song back in May, but it didn't hit the airwaves until a couple weeks ago when you all had an aneurysm over it. And who cares? It's horrible that a black man got lynched in front of that courthouse back in 1926 or whatever it was. But that was 1926. Who cares? This is 2023. It's irrelevant now. It doesn't matter. Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana was filmed in front of that courthouse. There have been Christmas specials filmed in front of that courthouse. There's been multiple things on TV and movies and whatnot made in front of that courthouse. Nobody ever said a word about none of that. Crickets, once again. Complete and total crickets. And then Jason Aldean releases this song and you all have an aneurysm over it. You're pathetic. Anybody that thinks either one of those songs, "Try That in a Small Town" by Jason Aldean or "Rich Men North of Richmond" by Oliver Anthony, you're all pathetic, every damn one of you. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What you should be concerned about and what you should be addressing and what you should be getting pissed off about is the child trafficking, child sex trafficking in the world. That movie "Sound of Freedom" that you're trying everyone in the world to keep everybody in the world from watching, that's what you should be upset about. Instead, you're crying and whining about two songs that speak more truth to the state of this country than anything else has in a long time. That's what you're pissed about. You're pathetic. You're sad. It's ridiculous. I mean, personally, I don't like Joe Biden. I've never liked Joe Biden. I have no reason to like the man. He's about as useless as, well, I'm not going to say the man's useless. He's got borderline early onset dementia. You're never going to convince me otherwise, okay? Yeah, he might have a stuttering problem. I got news for you. I do too. I've got a little bit of a stuttering problem. I have trouble getting my words out every once in a while. My father had that. My younger brother has that. And my dad, God rest his soul, had a real bad stutter. He never trailed off and just forgot what he was talking about. He never staggered and stumbled and fell over his own 2 feet walking across a flat stage. Now, granted, later in life when he developed Parkinson's, yes, he did stumble a few times, several times, but he had Parkinson's, so he had good reason to stumble and stagger. It was a disease. My father also had early onset dementia. And Joe Biden exhibits a lot of the same characteristics and same mannerisms that my father had. So anybody that's out there saying, well, what do you know about early onset dementia? I lived with it. I know the signs. I know the symptoms. So don't come at me and say I don't know what I'm talking about. Until you walk the mile in my shoes, don't come at me over anything, okay? It's plain and simple. That's the bottom line. I know the signs and symptoms of early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Joe Biden has got all 3. So, but like I said, I've been there, I've lived with it, I know. And Trump, I really don't give 2 flying you know what's about him either. He's an arrogant SOB. Bottom line, plain and simple. But if things don't change and the Republican Party don't pull their own heads out of their backsides to get somebody better to nominate and put into the race for president, I will vote for Trump again. Because like I said, I don't really like the man, but when you compare him to Biden and what that idiot has done in the last 4 years, we're a lot better off with Trump. I don't want to vote for Trump, but I will not vote for Joe Biden. I will never, ever vote for a Democrat. But anyway, I digress. I got off the subject of the 2 songs of Jason Aldean and Oliver Anthony. You all are whining and crying about those songs, and they're irrelevant. They're just songs. But y'all want to cry and whine about it because you're pansies, you're liberals, you're progressives, you're snowflakes, you're socialists, you're fascists. I guarantee if that had been Jay-Z had come out with a song something along those lines and running down white folks, yada, 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 and probably he could have named specific white folks, nothing would have ever been said. But it's a white conservative redneck in both situations, and the liberal left-wingers absolutely lost your mind. You had an aneurysm. And like I said, y'all are concentrating on those 2 songs. And by the way, they're number 1 and number 2 on iTunes right now. Way to go. CMT, you need to learn a lesson. You know, don't go woke. You'll end up like Bud Light. Like I said, you know, the liberal left-wingers are concentrating on those 2 songs and crying and whining about them, and when they need to be concentrating on and standing up for and standing against is exactly what that movie Sound of Freedom is about. I haven't seen it yet. I want to go see it, but then again I don't, because I know I'm going to be extremely upset afterwards, because I don't pander to that bull crap. That's what you need to be upset about. Plain simple, bottom line, human trafficking, child sex trafficking, the open border, the border crisis, this wildfire disaster that just happened in Maui, Hawaii, Lahaina, is no more. It doesn't exist anymore. That's what you should be concentrating on. That's what you should be putting your efforts into. And you're out here crying and whining and going on about a damn country song. It shows your character. It really does. President Trump, he went on live TV, done some kind of interview or whatever, expressing his deepest sympathies and condolences to the people of Maui and Lahaina. Where's Joe Biden on that stance? He said no comment. Once again, that shows your character. And that shows the character of anybody that supports that. You all really need to shift your priorities. You're still worrying about 2 country songs that are just that, they're country songs. It's freedom of expression. Jason Aldean and Oliver Anthony both have hit the nail on the head. That's the reason everybody's so upset. Except for ones like me the conservative redneck patriots, we're not upset because we know what they're saying. We know what they're saying is the truth. But the left wingers, y'all amaze me. You just amaze me. Yeah, pretty pathetic. You're concentrating your efforts and worrying about the wrong thing. Open border, child sex trafficking, the natural disaster, the wildfires in Maui, Hawaii. That's really what you should be concentrating on, and you're not. You're concentrating on two country songs that deserve to be where they're at. They deserve to be number one and number two. They should be number one and number two on CMT, but CMT decided they want to go broke, and I really hope they go broke, just like Bud Light. You get what you deserve. It's just like President Trump said, go woke, go broke. And I got news for you, and I'll say this to the day that I die. I will take MAGA, M-A-G-A, Make America Great Again, any day of the week and twice on Sundays over Joe Biden's Build Back Better and Bidenomics bullshit. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll be talking to you.